Now, from the news team that's covering the Carolinas, this is Channel 9 Eyewitness News Saturday morning.
A frightening rare illness has infected 2 local children.
That was probably the worst feeling ever in the whole wide world.
The symptoms you should look out for and the pattern that could help health experts figure out this mysterious disease.
And meteorologist Jacqueline Shearer is keeping a close eye on the area's only local live radar. And you can see that we have some showers out there this morning that could get in the way of some of those morning plans. And good morning, I'm Blaine Tollison.
And I'm KRISTIN Leigh. Thanks for joining us. We want to get right over to Jacqueline Shearer in Severe Weather Center 9. Probably a good day to keep the umbrella in hand.
Yeah, you know what? It's Saturday morning and those temperatures are really nice, so you're probably going to want to head outside. And I don't think you shouldn't by any means. Just bring that jacket with you, bring an umbrella. That's pretty much the whole story there. Don't cancel your plans, still head outside, do all of those events, head out to that breast cancer walk with Allison Lattis, but we will see just a little bit of that wet stuff moving in. Now, this is part of a cold front, so you're noticing those temperatures this morning. You're probably noticing they're a little bit warmer than they have been the past few days. In fact, we're in the 60s in Charlotte. It's been a while since we've had a morning in the 60s. 55 degrees in Boone and in Jefferson, but these temperatures, they are not lasting very long. And today, getting into the mid-70s, don't expect that to hang around much longer either. This cold front dropping our temperatures by about 10 to 15 degrees. We'll take a look at some of those numbers and we'll time it all out coming up in just a few minutes.
Channel 9 is following some breaking news from overnight. A man was killed in the parking lot of a West Charlotte gas station.
CMPD says the shooting happened at around 11:45 last night. It was at the gas station on Clanton Road, just west of I-77. Now, in the last 2 hours, police named the victim. His name is Kareem Mekliad. They have not identified a suspect or said how this happened. Police spent hours on scene overnight collecting evidence and talking with witnesses. The person who was shot and killed last night in East Charlotte, police are still looking for that man at an apartment complex. He's still on the run after that shooting. We were live on this scene as breaking news at 10 and 11. Overnight, we learned the man who died is Donald Myers. Police found him shot inside the Heritage Park Apartments. Police tell us the person they're searching for is a man, but they have not identified him. If you have our free WSOC News app, you'll get breaking alerts when we find out new information on these stories.
A virus with polio-like symptoms is infecting children, has doctors stumped in our area and across the country. It is called acute flaccid myelitis, and it's 1 in a million. And 2 local mothers of children fighting the virus spoke with Eyewitness News reporter Stephanie Tinoco about their search for answers.
These 2 families don't know each other, but they share a common bond.
We were shocked.
Doctors have diagnosed both of their sons with acute flaccid myelitis, also known as AFM.
That was probably the worst feeling ever in the whole wide world.
AFM is so rare, only 1 in a million people in the country get it each year. Doctors diagnosed 10-month-old Isaiah for Yadkinville on September 12th. 2-year-old Ryan from Huntersville was diagnosed in July before this condition made national headlines.
And when the term polio came into the picture, we were completely taken aback.
AFM is a serious condition with polio-like symptoms, causing weakness in the arms or legs.
Said it started out with a croup, coughing, fever. They gave him steroids, but it never went away. But then whenever, he literally lost feeling of his arm.
Ryan's mom told me her son had an ear infection and a fever that just wouldn't go away. When the fever finally broke, they noticed he couldn't use his arm.
He was doing everything on one side. And so immediately I thought it was a stroke.
There are differences in each case, but both families told me one scan confirmed it.
The MRI did confirm that he had inflammation in his spine.
Right now, there is no specific treatment for AFM and there's no vaccine to prevent it. But both children are going through aggressive therapy.
But we're constantly, like they said, to remind him that his hand's here, to do this.
These families are hoping doctors will find a cure soon.
It's scary not knowing. It's very scary not knowing what the actual cause was.
Stephanie Tinoco, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
This is an awful virus. The CDC says, though, it is noticing a pattern that could help find out what is causing the increase. It says most cases started in the late summer and fall, and that there could be a trend of the virus spreading in waves every other year.
The Rock Hill Police Department is facing another lawsuit claiming its handling of a chase injured innocent people. 2 years ago, police chased convicted drug dealer Stevie McClinton. Police say they ended the chase before McClinton crashed into another car, killing an innocent woman. But now McClinton's passenger, Xavier Davis, is suing, saying he got hurt too and that the department was negligent in the case. He also denies their claim that they stopped chasing McClinton before the wreck. The family of the woman who died in the crash also sued the department. McClinton was sentenced to 28 years in prison.
President Trump says he believes reports that journalist Jamal Khashoggi died in a fight. Saudi Arabia's government released that report last night. They say a talk between Khashoggi and men at the Saudi consulate in Istanbul on October 2nd led to the deadly fistfight. Saudi Arabia announced that they've detained 18 people and relieved their deputy of intelligence services of his duties. President Trump had demanded answers in Khashoggi's death.
We haven't finished our review or investigation, but I think it's a very important first step, and it happened sooner than people thought it would happen.
And Saudi Arabia's government is working on a more thorough report that they hope to finish in a month. Now, if you live in Charlotte, a congressional candidate may knock on your door this morning. Dan McCready will be going door to door with some support from former Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick. McCready is running against Republican Mark Harris for North Carolina's 9th District. President Trump will visit Charlotte next Friday to campaign for Harris. A rally is already set for the Bojangles Coliseum, and the doors will open at 4 o'clock with the event starting at 7. And that could mean a rush hour motorcade for the president from the airport to East Charlotte. Major political figures visiting Charlotte show just how pivotal that 9th district race is. Democrats want Dan McCready to take over a Republican seat in the House. Republicans, of course, they want to hang on to that seat after Harris defeated Robert Pittenger in the primary. This race, it is a toss-up right now, and it is considered central in the battle for power in the House. And as a result, we've seen a lot of big spending from outside of Charlotte on this race. Early voting is off to a faster start than the last midterm election. In Mecklenburg County, more than 22,000 people have cast their ballots. Across the state, 257,000 have already voted. Day one returns were higher than the first day of early voting in 2014, and that is despite not having a really high-profile statewide race like a U.S. Senate race 4 years ago.
Former Carolina Panther Ray Carruth is spending his last weekend in this North Carolina prison. A conviction on the conspiracy to kill his pregnant girlfriend landed him in Sampson Correctional Center. And after serving more than 18 years, he's set to be released Monday. While many in Charlotte may never forget the crime, the echoes of Carruth and his crime have long since faded in the towns that hold the prison.
It means nothing to me, sir.
I've heard the name, but I don't know anything about what's going on yet.
Carruth is set to be released sometime after 8 a.m. Monday. Eyewitness News will be at the prison all day and bring you the moment he is let out. We'll have in-depth coverage of his release starting on Eyewitness News Daybreak. Last night, Channel 9 aired a 1-hour special on the case. It features an exclusive interview with Ray Carruth. Plus, we spoke with the mother of victim Sharika Adams and highlighted her son Chancellor's recovery from the night that nearly cost him his life. Now, if you didn't see Life After Death, Ray Carruth and the son who survived, you can watch that special tonight at 7 p.m. on TV 64.
2 years after protests in Charlotte over the shooting death of Keith Scott, the city is following through on its promises. City leaders announced yesterday in 2 years, more than 4,500 affordable housing units are underway or have already been built. The city's goal was 3 years, and more than 260 people have also enrolled in the city's workforce development program, and 1,400 people have gotten jobs. The city highlighted the efforts in North Charlotte yesterday. This is in Bright Walk, a new mixed-income neighborhood in North End. And the city also introduced Brendan Morales, a West Charlotte graduate who enrolled in one of the city's job training programs, and he now earns a livable wage.
I can now provide for my family. I have 2 little boys, one's 3, one's 1 year old, and we're no longer struggling. We're happy. We have our own home, and we can continue to prosper.
It took Brandon 4 to 6 weeks to finish the program. The city is planning additional investments in workforce development so more people can follow his path. Oh, we might want to go out after this and buy us a lottery ticket. That massive $1 billion Mega Millions jackpot has grown even larger.
Agree to split it if one of the two of us wins?
Yeah, you'll split it? You promise that?
Sure. Despite so many people buying tickets, no one matched all 6 numbers. Jackpot's still up for grabs, though many people did come close. Now, if you missed last night's drawing, here are the numbers: 15, 23, 53, 65, 70. And the Mega Ball is 7. In Charlotte, we could feel the Mega Millions excitement last night. It's the largest Mega Millions jackpot ever and the 2nd largest lottery prize in U.S. history. It's rolled over dozens of times. The last winning ticket was claimed July 24th, several months ago. Now, we found out lots of people, they're keeping hope alive and planning what they'll do with those winnings.
I just want to travel a little bit. I actually want to go to, Europe.
I like to help the homeless. I like to help, the people that I see in line that's over there in, crisis assistant ministry that's, starving, trying to get ahead.
Now, your next chance at that huge jackpot will happen on Tuesday. It is now a record-tying $1.6 billion.
Yeah, it's cool to hear, some people want to use that money to help folks out there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. This morning, you can be one of thousands coming together to fight breast cancer. The Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Walk starts at 10 at the ZMAX Dragway in Concord. And Channel 9's Allison Lottis is the host. And the money raised, it stays in Charlotte to fund research and help pay for treatments. Registration starts at 8. And here's a live look outside from our Speedway camera. We've got a little bit more light in this picture since we checked it about an hour ago, but you can start to make out those clouds as well. Here's meteorologist Jacqueline Shearer updating your forecast and that chance for rain.
Well, if you are headed out to that Making Strides Against Breast Cancer walk, I don't think the rain should cancel your plans by any means. You might just need an umbrella, maybe a light jacket. It won't be too warm out there, so that light jacket might actually feel pretty nice. Here's a look at that forecast. We're in the mid-60s at 8 a.m. during registration. Kicks off at 10 a.m. and will be in the upper 60s by that point. Again, that slight rain chance, you might even be able to get away without even seeing a shower. We'll track how long that rain will stick around and what comes after that coming up in just a few minutes.
This 6-year-old says her teacher grabbed her by the neck.
I feel sad. I'm fed up. I'm frustrated.
All new at 7:45, the reason this incident caused the school to go on lockdown.
Noisy neighbors in a busy district of Charlotte. At 7:30, the changes the city could make as police deal with more noise complaints.
A plane flying just feet above a California interstate. Check this out. New and next, the quick thinking that led to a safe landing.